How about one of your world's famous massages?
You mean a sensual massage? Right then. Okay,
What's up, everybody? Before I begin today, I wanted to talk about the Steam Deck, which I played a majority of my time with on this game. So, pull up a seat and let me speak of my deck, how it feels in my hands, how it's not too heavy to deal with, not too big to hold, and that you can take it anywhere while having a portable PC and not questionable intense at all. What? I'm still talking about my deck.
Because I like it.
What else would I be talking about?
Right.
But this thing is a beast of hardware. And even though I'm not very versed in Linux or any of its operating systems most of the time, Proton, which was developed by Valve in-house, if I'm remembering it right, is extremely versatile. And it's also very user-friendly for people who don't really understand Linux or most of its inner workings. And because of that, it's a lot more friendly than I was expecting for a complete newbie when it comes to Linux stuff. And even though the game I'm playing isn't that very, it isn't a very demanding game, the deck is such a small but very powerful thing. It isn't as powerful as a typical PC, but for those who don't really have the funds, the know-how, or really the patience to do much when it comes to PCs, just the base model of the Steam Deck is such a good steal if you want a decent system similar to a PC. And just the standard version, although the versions aren't really any different when you look at the hardware specs, the only differences are very minimal and negligible differences. But it goes for about the same price as one of the newer consoles. Just the base model, $399 before tax. After tax, maybe $450, which is still a little bit less than even a PS5. And an Xbox Series X, which both retail for about $499 each for those models. It also has the portability of the Switch, which I like the Switch because you could take it anywhere, but its hardware limitations are really showing these days. The controls are also really good and nice to use too, especially because it's like someone actually tested this and actually figured out how to do it. The only issues I have with it are maybe the D-pad. The D-pad is a little finicky. It also moves a little bit, but that's only a small nitpick I really have. And contrary to a lot of what people say, I will not speak his name, but a certain cupcake filled with so much salt that the Dead Sea would be jealous. If you don't know about the Dead Sea is considered the saltiest body of water on the planet, last I checked. Despite what most claim, the deck does not heat up that much. It only really heats up when you're playing a very graphic-intensive game, such as another Cupcake's least favorite game ever, known as the Elden Ring, which I have to say is actually very fun to play on this thing. Such a intensive and demanding game on the go, and the battery life is actually pretty good.
I really like it.
Because of it being pretty much a portable PC, this is a great option for people who don't really want to look into a lot of things, or don't really know what to look into, don't really have anybody to talk to about it. I don't know what else to say. The Steam Deck is amazing. But without me showing off my deck anymore, let's get into the video.
And now for something completely different.
Now, we're going to be talking about One Step from Eden. The basic premise is that you play as a selection of various characters, which you can unlock throughout the game. It has a deck building system similar to, well, I'll get to that a little bit later. Deck building system, roguelike mechanics, so if you die, then you start over again, or it has all the trappings of picking out objects or items or abilities throughout your playthrough to customize your character, and it also has a nearly identical battle system to Mega Man Battle Network, and by extension, the Star Force series. Although that's only it's only kind of like that.
What?
One Step from Eden doesn't really have a narrative or story, so you can make choices to have alternate playthroughs, which brings me to the different routes, which varies from a pacifist route to the neutral route.
Oh boy!
And a genocide route. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there's not much of a difference between the three. The game is actually really hard, so I only got the pacifist route in my playthrough. But all of the routes lead you to eventually the titular Eden. It's supposed to be where you're getting to because apparently One Step from Eden is in a post-war apocalyptic world of some sort.
Emotional damage!
Rise, motherfucker!
I couldn't tell you for sure. I can only find that from Wikias and concept designs. There's not, like I said, there is not really a narrative in-game itself. So, if you're looking for a story, you're probably not going to find one here.
What's wrong with the CD? What's going on?
But, like I stated earlier, the game plays like the Battle Network games, most similarly. But, apparently, Thomas Moon Kang, who is the lead developer, designer, I think he did everything, essentially. From what I could find, he did almost everything. He began this... Well, actually, I'm assuming he's a he. Do not take my word for it. I'll continue with they. They began to make this back in around 2016 to fill the particular void that they felt that Battle Network left. If you never played the games, you're not really going to have a big learning curve, but having some experience with those games will help you to translate into One Step from Eden. As of 2022, if I remember correctly, earlier this year, Battle Network is also getting a compilation re-release like the classic Mega Man games, Mega Man X, and even the most recent Mega Man Zero ZX collections.
But with that in mind,
We have the 4x4 grid. Instead of battle chips, we have spells, which function almost the exact same. The enemy pattern reading, because it actually shows where the enemies will have their attacks land, where they move on the grid. You can also save NPCs that give you items, health, all sorts of things. There's also several boss battles. All the bosses are completely different too. These are also bosses that you can unlock to play as later, including the shopkeeper. And you can actually fight the shopkeeper and get an achievement and unlock it. Unlike Battle Network, it deviates with only some small differences, such as a experience bar. It has a leveling system similar to an RPG mechanic. It has roguelike buffs where you can select artifacts that give you special bonuses, downsides, upgrades, all sorts of things. And obviously, like I said, it's a roguelike, so when you die, you pretty much start your route all over again. But every time you do die, or just fail at one part of the run, because of the leveling system, there is actually awards given throughout your playthrough. I got to 50, which I believe is the max level, but you get completion rewards for the future runs throughout the game, which vary from new spells, characters, character outfits, artifacts, and even buffs for the remaining stuff. But with that in mind, we have what is a fairly interesting throwback to Battle Network. Even though I've only played maybe the first one and the sixth one, I did play the Star Wars games, and I love those like crazy. I bought all of them, and I really love them. So I can honestly say this is a very excellent spiritual successor to those games. Before I end here, you all may be wondering where you can get One Step from Eden. You can pretty much get it from
everywhere.
But even though you can get it on just about every platform, what do I consider to be the best platform to get it on? Well, I'd probably go with the PC version because of the PC Steam Workshop, which gives you a ton of different mods. You can even put in Battle Network stuff with the mods. But if that doesn't persuade you, the other platforms aren't bad. I did get it on Switch, and I think it works just fine. It's just, among the various versions on other platforms, I would personally suggest you get the PC version for more bang for your buck. The mod workshop is extensive, and the community is still pretty active. At least, if you can get the mods working. I did get them working.
I will send you to Jesus.
It's just how One Step from Eden does mod installation is a little weird, but they do work. But can I suggest this game with the now announced Battle Network compilation? Yes. Yes, I can. What? And why? Because it's fun. It has tons of replayability. Even if it doesn't have a story, it's still fun to play. And plus, it's not that expensive. It actually goes on sale a lot too. And I think I got it for maybe $5, and I think it's not that bad of a price in general. But if what I have said makes you anyone interested in it, I would highly suggest it. You will not leave angry or disappointed. I even put in a lot more hours than I was expecting to. But with that, signing out.
Are you sure about that?